influences that started. She started rock and roll, as you can clearly hear. Uh, Elvis Presley, Chuck Berry, those music fans and those that know music back from that era can definitely hear the influence that she had on rock and roll. So again, we want to pay tribute to Sister Rosetta Tharpe.
Tribute.
And yeah, this is that's our Black History tribute for
I was paying tribute to it. I was like saying tribute.
you. No, that was your okay. Yeah. And this is actually a perfect segue to and perfect time to bring in our guest, our second guest, Eric Maurice Clark, who is a gospel music historian, and he's been writing and sharing on Facebook. If you don't follow him on Facebook, follow him on Facebook. But he has been sharing gospel history nuggets, paying tribute to several legends in gospel music from Chicago and abroad. Even featured Mark Hubbard one time. So, yeah, Eric, we're glad to have you on the show today. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for allowing me to come.
Yeah. So you hit me up, and you were promoting a magazine that you are writing and sharing. Tell us about what you're doing.
Well, thanks again, once again. So pretty much, I've created this avenue where I'm able to kind of shed light on the unsung heroes of gospel music, because gospel music is so rich and so potent for our culture and for so much, that goes on in our society, that it's impossible for us to even journey off into the future without knowing from where we come from. So a lot of these stories that I share in the magazine, those are going to be some of the stories that you may have never ever heard, if no one ever took the time to kind of search and pace these particular individuals out, because everyone's story is necessary. And so I created this avenue where I can just be able to do like biographical sketches, pretty much kind of target certain issues, certain aspects as it relates to gospel music. Well, Black culture as a whole. So it got the Coffee Table magazine is just loaded with just goodies, to celebrate us as a race and this art form that we call gospel music.
Awesome. So, what made you want to do this? What made you want to reach back and dig into the legends and then not just dig into the legends, but to share some of the findings?
Well, it started at an early age for me. I've always been fascinated with celebrating people, because there's a quote that I say often. When we as a people are inspired, we do better at aiming towards our goals and our dreams. And a lot of times, the missing ingredient for success is just that push. That push. Say, hey, you can do this, or I recognize this. So, at an early age, I started a gospel TV show where I was locally celebrating just random heroic figures or beacons of inspiration that I noticed at an early age, like a musician or a singer, a dancer, whatever the case may be. So pretty much the Coffee Table magazine is just an offspring and a more mature aspect of the TV show, where I'm able to kind of broadly and more precise, dig into, what I've always been doing in my life, which is celebrating people.
Yeah, and it's important to celebrate people, and more importantly, to celebrate them while they're still here, so that they can enjoy hearing the kind words. Because truth be told, everybody likes to hear you've done a good job. Everybody likes to hear that we appreciate the work that you do, that we appreciate the work that you're doing. Everybody likes to hear that, and when they hear that, it keeps them going and pushes them to continue to do what they're doing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So thank you for that. And your magazine is available. Is how many editions, or how many copies or issues do you have? That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, right now there's 4 volumes.
There we go.
I just really took a very I was real diligent in this current volume because it was 10. I presented 10 profiles, and those profiles took a while to like research and like try to find the most creative or the rarest stories that I can find. And also, let me say this too. Like how like you when we used to go to the barbershop and like, oh, we still go to the barbershop. But as a child, we would hear the conversations and the conversation in the barbershop and things of that sort. It sometimes, what I'm saying, one barber be talking about one thing, your barber be talking about another thing, but something in the room, can bring you inspiration, and that's what the magazine does. It's like I'm trying to find where can I strategically, cut out and center pace, for a broad spectrum of people. Like when like it's really doing well overseas. And one thing that inspires me is that a lot of people really don't understand that gospel music is stumbled across being an art form. It was not created to be an art form. It's us illustrating ourselves. Music was our communication in a society that did not want to recognize our voice. So like then post Civil War, you had these abolitionists where they began to like study the spiritual, and they really began to like cultivate or to understand our voice that we've always been, trying to bellow out, in the midst of all of our adversity, in the midst of all of our triumphs, in the midst of everything, and music was that one thing that they could never, ever take from us, and, it's richly found in a lot of slave narratives like Olala Ikono, he precisely, talks about, how, in our native, in our indigenous culture or nature, music was just everything. There was no such thing as, secular. There was no such thing as just sacred. Everything was sacred. You did weddings, you did birthday celebrations. Everything was celebrated with music. And that's why gospel music is so sought after, because people look at this thing and they try to wonder, how in the world are we doing this? And it's just indigenous to us. But a lot of times we don't really realize that. But yeah.
Yeah, and you mentioned overseas. If you're not careful, you'll see Chinese. They have the gospel choir. They're doing the gospel songs. They're doing the gospel groups, and they are doing it pretty well. They're doing it pretty well. So in your findings, what is one of the rarest stories that you've come across that you can share?
Oh man, it's just so many. Like, the luxury that not only gospel music but just like American music have today, was paid by the sweat and the diligence of our people. Because, even on the gospel circuit, they traveled down south. They couldn't even stay in hotels. They had to find particular houses that would room them, and it's just horrible. So I've come across a lot of stories of how they endured, but you never hear in my interviews, I never hear them complaining. What they do is pretty much try to highlight, where we come from, because a lot of times today, like, we don't really appreciate or really take the time to acknowledge just, what we had to endure to be where we are today. So those stories, when they're traveling down south, these particular stories, how they used to actually, a lot of times we hear them say they're on the gospel circuit and things of that sort. It's almost just like today. They actually created their own tours, like they got in the car and said, hey, we're gonna go south, and we're gonna stop at this city, we're gonna stop at this city. They wasn't paid to go out to these places. They had to show up in town. Go to the radio station and things of that sort. So all these type of stories are very enriching to me, and I'm glad that I'm able to kind of decipher them and pretty much present them in the magazine, if that makes any sense.
Oh yeah, definitely. And again, we, as part of Black History Month, we are supporting Black businesses, and we want everyone to support the magazine and go out and purchase it. So share with everybody how they can go out and purchase the magazine.
Oh, thanks. Real simple. Just type in www.ericmauriceclarkmagazine.com, and it's there. You can just pick whatever volume you want to get, and we will definitely appreciate your support. And I'm telling you, probably appreciate the information that's inside that magazine.
Awesome. Well, Eric, thank you for joining us today and sharing. And keep doing what you're doing. It's a great thing to honor people, and we appreciate you for honoring people and honoring what they have done and what they're doing.
Oh, can I say something else? I forgot all about this. Man, Mark, you already know I have to say this. Dude, man, your work is phenomenal, man. What?
Oh, so now it's okay?
That is crazy. He said, come on, let's get it.
Dude, your work, man, it will live beyond your lifespan. I'm you just don't know what you've created. You make my job really fun, because just to understand or try to decipher your mind frame and how you came up with these innovative directing styles and moves and things. It's mind blowing. And then when you really listen to your music, you can see how much of a music enthusiast that you are. And I just really want to tell you, man, Black History Month, it's about people like you for your heroic contributions to this art form, man. So kudos to you, man. I'll never ever forget your contributions. Never. We will never forget your contributions.
I'm still not bad in the magazine, but thank you.
Oh no! Look at you, Mark.
Really? Is that what you say after all of that? Thank you, CJ Mike.
Woo! That man needs some help. I promise that man needs help for real. That is a mess. Jesus Christ. But no, seriously, young man. Maurice, I've been knowing you for a minute, for real. And, I know some of the things that you have been through, and to see you where you are now, man, I'm super proud of you as well, for real.
Thanks.
We go back some ways. I know you definitely have weathered some storms. You've been through a lot, and you've triumphed. And now to be doing what you're doing, yeah, man, I'm super, super proud of you. Keep up the good work. Thank you for honoring me. I appreciate that. As Reggie said, people always say, yeah, that's not about me. But yeah, honestly, everybody want a little pat on the back every now and then. They really do. They may not want to say it, but they want a little pat. They want to know that what they're doing and the work and what they're providing is appreciated, and people appreciate what they're doing. So it's always good, to just say, hey, you're doing a good job. I play with my staff a lot, seriously, but again, on a real tip, I really do appreciate them, because they really do a great job. They really make my job easy. See, I got 23 more days. But anyway, they really make my job easy, and I really appreciate them. So again, Maurice, thank you so very much. But I've been sitting here, and I would not be me if I just did ask one question. I just got to ask it, okay? It's just so. Where are you now? You live in Phoenix?
Phoenix, Arizona. I'm sorry. I know you all getting hit with that weather, so.
Yeah, but
leave him alone.
Okay.
I know what Mark is getting ready to ask.
I don't know. I'm scared.
He's getting ready to ask why you got that big sweater on and you're in Phoenix, Arizona.
It's a couple of reasons too. I mean, because of course,
Please explain.
First and foremost, I have my AC on, and then another thing too. I wanted this to be documented that this sweater here is from the late '60s. I forgot to even mention this. A gospel music living legend, actually gave it to me when I went to interview him. Harrison Johnson of the Los Angeles Community, founder of the Los Angeles Community Choir, he gave me this sweater.
Okay, next time hang it up. Next time hang it up behind you.
Okay,
Hang it up behind you. Because you can't tell me in Phoenix, Arizona with a big sweater on. I'm like, what are you
That's crazy.
doing?
I got my AC on.
Turn that down. I could, but again, and that's a shame. That's a shame.